This incident initially started somewhere around 9:20. 9:28, the first LAFD resources were on scene. In terms of a more heightened awareness and coordinated effort citywide, the city's Emergency Operations Center has been activated at level 1, has been for well over 2 hours now. So the city is standing tall and leaning forward to deal with any associated issues that happen outside of the actual LAX property.
Thank you. Next, hear from the Chief of the Los Angeles Police Department, who's involved in this and some of the operations as well, Chief Charlie Beck.
Very briefly, I want to commend the men and women of LAWA PD and their response in this incident. We have created a unified command with not only LAWA PD, Los Angeles Police Department, TSA, and the FBI, LASO, and other agencies. We will treat this incident with the unified command. Many details that you are interested in will not be given out at this point. We will not speak about the nature of injuries. We will not speak about the identity of the suspect. The investigation is being handled by the FBI with the cooperation of the Los Angeles Police Department. Again, tremendous unified response. I know that this region worries about its airport because of the complex issues involved with various jurisdictions. It was handled very well today. Thank you.
Hold on one second. We'll next hear from the FBI Special Agent in Charge, Special Agent Bowich, to talk a little bit about the investigation.
Very well. Hi, David Bowditch, Special Agent in Charge of the FBI. B as in boy, O-W-D-I-C-H. First off, we're working hand in hand with our partners here to include the Los Angeles Police Department, the LA Airport Police, in respect to this investigation. This investigation is ongoing. I'm going to give you very little facts today, very few facts. We are working with the U.S. Attorney's Office as well as all our partners. I'm not going to talk about the victims today. We still have people we have to be in contact with in the meantime. We are going to bring our resources to bear in conjunction with our partners here, which would include our evidence response team and any other necessary resources. At this point, we do not see any additional threats here at the airport.
Thank you. Finally, our last speaker will be Councilmember Mike Bonin, and then we will take questions after that. Want to thank Mr. Bonin and his office, who's responded and helped not only with the traffic and all the traveling public that is here today as well. And one last note I want to say, because we'll take questions just after, I want to thank those officers from the Los Angeles World Airports Department, the police department here, whose heroic acts saved lives here today, and we thank them for that.
We've heard from Harbor UCLA Medical Center.
Thank you. Good morning. I just want to reiterate something the mayor said and thank the first responders here today. LAPD, the Los Angeles World Airport Police, Fire Department, TSA, FBI. There's a natural human instinct when you hear gunfire to flee or to duck. And the folks who are here today coordinating are folks who, when they hear those gunshots, run towards them and save lives. And to watch the unified command here today work together professionally and seamlessly is awe-inspiring. The people of Los Angeles are in very good hands. Also want to thank the public for their patience and their cooperation so far and ask for that to continue throughout the day. Thank you.
Thank you. I'll ask Chief Gannon to come forward now for any questions.
Chief, Harbor UCLA Medical Center has told us they have 2 fatalities and 1 critical. Can you at least tell us the number of known fatalities at this point?
No, because I'm not sure, to be honest with you, what we have yet as far as that goes. The fire department is rectifying all of that information.
Could you explain why the FBI is the lead agency?
Well, this is an airport that has federal jurisdiction. We have FBI assets here on board, and it's a unified command involving everybody, but the investigative lead has been decided to take by the FBI.
Is the shooter a federal employee?
I don't know.
Was he ever?
I don't know.
Chief, there were other...
Does the FBI know?
Indicate why he was doing this?
Not that I'm aware of.
Chief, of course, there were earlier reports of multiple suspects. In fact, as recently as 10-15 minutes ago, we saw a person in handcuffs. Can you explain what we're seeing there?
No, we've, in a dynamic situation where things unfold so rapidly and many people come in, there's always chaos in any type of event like this. And there's always everybody's always thinking forward as to whether or not there's additional suspects. As we stand here right now, there is only one individual that is responsible for this, as we know, as that active shooter that was in our terminal. And I want to follow up a little bit on what the mayor said regarding the officers that went in after this individual. This individual was shooting as he went into the terminal. The officers didn't, I repeat, they didn't hesitate. They went after this individual and they confronted this individual in our airport. And unfortunately, it involved an officer-involved shooting. But that's what needed to be done in that particular situation, and that was heroic. We practiced to this. Not more than 3 weeks ago, we took every one of our officers, our patrol officers, and a couple of hundred officers from the Los Angeles Police Department, and we practiced the exact scenario that played out today. And I was talking to the officers involved in this particular incident a few minutes ago, and they said that training was critical to how they responded to this. So they're well-trained officers. And all of the agencies that came in, whether it's from Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department, LAPD's here on campus with us every day and works hand in hand, Hawthorne, the sheriffs, everybody in Inglewood, everybody came in to help us get through this particular incident, and we appreciate their help.
So can you report the gunman's a TSA agent? Why are you not addressing that? Why are you not? You must have that information.
No, that's
just quoting an official on it.
Well, that's not true. And one, I don't know that information at all. We have obviously trying to develop information on the suspect. That's the FBI's responsibility, as with the help of the Los Angeles Police Department in their follow-up investigation, and that'll be determined. But if you're asking me whether or not that information is clear right at this point, I'm telling it is not, and that's the official word, and that's the truth.
Chief, would you come to the microphone, please?
I'm sorry.
Are you saying you don't know who the shooter is?
Chief, how far into the terminal did the shooter get?
The suspect got back very far into a terminal. There's a Burger King that is quite a ways away from the screening station, and he was able to get back there. I appreciate all the questions. We'll have more information here shortly. Thank you.
Chief Feathers. Questions. Agent Bowden.
I know a lot of people want to have other questions. I'm going to say something briefly in Spanish for the Spanish press that's here. Other questions, folks can go offline. We will, I promise you, give you as much information as we can release as soon as we have that.
Do another briefing.
Primero, les quiero asegurar que las agencias policiales.
I want to give our viewers, and Shepard Smith now in New York, it is, 7 minutes past noon on the West Coast, and this brief news conference has happened. I'll give you a tick-tock of what we heard. The highlights are 7 people have been treated, 6 people transported to area hospitals. The shooting, we believe, happened, according to authorities, at 9:20 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time. And by 9:28, the LAFD was on scene, the LA Fire Department, 100 LA Fire Department officers on scene, even as we speak. And you can see that they still have this set up here. Some pictures that I want to go through the rest of it and explain to you why they were asking those questions. The Los Angeles Times newspaper, on its online version and its Twitter, and other reputable news organizations on the West Coast are reporting that the shooter is a Transportation Security Administration officer, that this agent was a TSA agent, and that the TSA agent took this rifle out of a bag, or took this shot, as it's been described to us. The authorities called it an assault rifle. I haven't seen it, but that's what they've called it, so that's what we'll call it until further notice. Took an assault rifle out of a bag and began to fire at people. Shot and, according to the reporting of the Los Angeles Times, killed another TSA agent. Then walked down the corridor toward the food court and where all of these gates are together, and fired off more rounds. And an officer, they were not specific, but we believe LAPD, though we don't have any way to know for sure because they weren't specific, engaged that suspect. And the reporting of the Los Angeles Times newspaper is that the suspect is dead. Now, that's the reason the reporters were asking these questions about whether this gunman was a Transportation Security Administration officer, because these reports are everywhere. Multiple sources have reported to multiple news organizations that he was. Fox News cannot confirm that, and the authorities did not confirm it for us. And frankly, to get ahead of ourselves on that matter would be a mistake. The reporters tried to get that information from authorities. They could not get that information. So for now, we'll say an unknown gunman, said to be a white male, believed to be youngish, whatever that means, 20s, 30s, I don't know, dressed in what's been described as some sort of army jacket. Some have described it as camo, others otherwise. shot his way through the Transportation Security Administration's screening station there. Now, we've not heard any reports that this person came in up to the TSA screening area, only that the shooting began there. And that then he made his way down that long corridor, which we can see right over here, made his way down this long corridor from the security checkpoint to the shooting here, made his way down to here where the food court is, and then again we have a photograph of the weapon, or a weapon, on the carpeting outside gate 36. We know because there's a sign in the background. The gun is in the foreground, the sign is in the background, and it says 36. So we believe this is the spot. We know that people went out onto the tarmac here. We know that this suspect was engaged right here by authorities, and yet multiple witnesses who came out these doors and were out on the tarmac report that they saw a gunman or saw a person subdued by authorities, put into handcuffs and taken away. We've seen multiple people in handcuffs, and it's possible that those were people who they wanted to question, that they had at least some suspicion that they might be involved in some way, so they handcuffed them and took them away. But the gunman responsible, we have no indication that the gunman responsible ever went outside. I'm not saying that witnesses were wrong, because we have multiple witnesses saying that they saw someone handcuffed outside the terminal and taken away. We have no reason to doubt that. In fact, we've seen pictures of people in just that sort of situation. But the gunman himself was engaged inside and never made his way outside. Started here at security checkpoint, came past the Burger King, down to the food court, continued shooting in this area, was engaged by an officer and taken down. There aren't conflicting reports. The Los Angeles Times and others are reporting